Hello, 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 hello. I didn't tell anybody I was going to go live, okay? I didn't know if I wanted to be here. My name is Mystic Brady, Katrina Brady. You can call me Mystic, you can call me Katrina. How's everybody doing? I hope you can hear me. Holly, 1989, can you hear me? Am I loud and clear? Please let me know. Of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. Read the shirt. Read the shirt, people. Read the shirt. That's why I got the shirt, so you could read it. I know I'm a jerk. Is anybody out there? Is anybody up? It's not that late, people. Okay. Natalie Christmas. Thank you for coming, Natalie Christmas, baby. All I want for Christmas is you. All right, loud and clear. Oh, you were listening to my Sag reading? Oh, I'm glad you can hear me. Hi, Vicky. Vicky from Australia. I'm so glad that some people are night owls are awake. Okay, I'm not really doing anything psychic, or am I? I just need my magic marker because I'm going to be doing quite a few things along with discussing. I just want a few people to come into the house. Hi, Eileen. Oh, I'm glad you can hear me, Eileen. I'll be right there. I don't think I have pink. Orange, I have orange, red, and blue. This is pink. I'm not sure if it's that pink. Okay. Okay, guys. Just have some rain on in the background. Let me light a candle. Let me get things ready. Oh, it's early then. Oh, it's only 12. Are you in Texas? Because it's 12:18 here. Yeah, it's early. Sorry, 107. One of your clocks is fast. That's okay. Hey, we'll sleep. We'll sleep when we go to heaven. If this doesn't work, I have to go get my other one. It's not working. One second, guys. It's not working. Let's see. I am so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. I don't know where to put it. Okay. it right there. Guys, I'm sorry about like leaving you and not having everything ready. Oh, there is one thing I want to do this especially for the kids that are in heaven. When I say kids, I mean Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Maddie. And I call them kids because they're like kids to me. They're younger than my kids are. So I could be their grandmother. No, don't go that far. Okay. See, I'm feeling like extra claustrophobic, and you can't even see what I just did. You see it? I'm not sure you can see it. It's just like I put some lights up, but you can't really see it. But that's okay. All right. So, guys, before we just start our discussion, and really, I don't think it's going to be that psychic, but Spirit told me. Spirit's bossy lately. Spirit is very bossy. I tried to get on the tail end of, I tried to get Ruby, just a Texas medium. I tried to get her to do a live so I could just like slip in the back door and just like discuss it that way. But she didn't do a live because she's tired and she's sick, and she even has to call out sick tomorrow because she's losing her voice, her throat hurts, her head hurts. I told her, you better not be going to work, girl. And she said, no, I'm not. So don't even worry. But anyhow, I tried to do, but she said she just did a video. And so I saw a little bit of a video and I was writing notes because I listened twice to the affidavit. The affidavit, I think, is between 16 and 19 pages. I'm going to say 19. And Spirit told me, you got to do it. And I was like, can I just do a video too, like Ruby? And they were like, no. And this is my old phone so that I could use a microphone. But now it's gonna get so easy. That's what Shanann told me. She goes, girl, you'll be going live left and right. And it doesn't have to, it's not going to be 4 hours. Trust and believe, it's not going to be 4 hours, okay? This is still a chance I might have to go to work tomorrow. But it sucks being a sub because you just never know when you have to go to work. And I literally, I just lost my voice. I literally have to wake up at 6 and call in. But sometimes I have a bad night, like every night. Okay, I'm not kidding you. But sometimes I have a bad night and I don't feel like calling in at night, in the morning at 6. But I call up until like 11 o'clock at night. And so far there was 0 jobs. All right, but I know I am working next week, and thank God for that. And I also got a week in March from another teacher in 4th grade, so thank God for that too. So work is coming, so to speak, and I have all kinds of readings to do. I didn't forget about you 5K winners. You think you think this brain lets me go to sleep? The brain has on the schedule Capricorn, but before I do Capricorn, I got 3 readings to do for the 5K winners. Okay, so I promise you, Friday, which is tomorrow. See, which is today. If I don't go to work, I'm going to be doing Emily first. Okay, and then after that, the other 2. But I don't know if it's going to be in the same day. But I will start. And then Saturday and then Sunday, I will be finished with the 5K winners, okay? Just because, otherwise it'll stay on my mind and I'll be upset that I hold myself to a high standard and then I'm haunted by the standards that I put on myself. And then it's all confusing. Okay. Just welcome to Virgo Nation. All right. Virgos, do you understand that line of thinking? Okay. Anyway, this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say is written in stone unless it's written on my third eye in my brain. I know that doesn't make sense. Hey, what do you want for 12:30 at night? Anyway, another thing Spirit told me is you can't have your Jesus juice. You gotta go and do a live without. And that day, I only had that one glass of Jesus juice, but then it was Margaritaville yesterday, and I knew I was gonna get a headache, and I did. But that was because we didn't eat anything. But thank God, no throwing up or anything. I don't like to day drink. I am not a good day drinker. Okay, so I only had two. But that's enough for me because he makes them really strong, our friend. He makes them really strong. So that's good like on a hot summer day. But I didn't want to go to Margaritaville. All right. Anyhow, so they told me no Jesus juice. And they told me, oh yeah, don't worry, Capricorn's coming. Capricorn is coming. Because a Capricorn has been haunting me ever since I did Sagittarius. Sagittarius was so friggin' patient. They were awesome. And I got pretty good views on that almost 2 hour video. Usually I don't get, like Scorpios, really. You let me down, including my daughter. Okay. She's not even a sub. All right. Do you feel me? All right. Anyhow. They told me I can have Diet Coke. All right, so those of you who are looking at me side-eye because I'm drinking Diet Coke at like 12:30, because I wanted to come on. I was going to make coffee and come on much earlier, make tea, because I only had 2 cups. I still might make regular tea, if you don't mind. But let's see how this goes down. Drink it if you got it. Yeah, so I was like, oh, really? I can't have a little Jesus juice? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds scary and strict. Why are you scaring me? Anyhow. Yes, I love tea and coffee, and I usually do drink chamomile tea at night, but I don't want to be too sleepy. And the only chamomile tea I have is kava. I have to buy some more chamomile. I have kava tea, and it's supposed to calm you down, but it's really spicy. It tastes like cinnamon and like kind of wakes me up. So I'll probably end up having regular tea if I have any tea, because I don't know if I want the spicy tea. Or maybe I'll have the spicy tea. I know, who cares, right? It's like I go in a circle. Okay, here we go. And I have my phone right here. I have it on mute, rain, Jason Stevenson rain, just to mix it up, because I'm always doing like third eye opening. Then I walk around like this for hours and hours. Or I have meditation, dopamine release. But I figured, let's just listen to rain. Okay? So if anybody needs to text me, if anybody out there has my number and they need to text me, go ahead. Oh, it's raining there? Oh, good. Very good. That's cool that I'm tapping in with Australia. It's raining in Australia? Okay, I think we have 15 in the house, but I only see a few people. But that's okay. Chicago! That's where my son's girlfriend lives. And he was just in Chicago with her. But now he's back in Austin. All right, welcome Chicago. Welcome Texas. So you're not the Vicky from Australia. Okay. Aries in the hizzo. Okay. All right, so guys, now I'm going to get a little bit seriouser, if that's a word. Okay, so I usually don't do my cones because I give them away with my artwork, and I just noticed that I don't have any white sage left, so I'm going to have Devin order some more. And I also managed to go through 1,000,000 of these sticks, Palo Santo sticks, so now I'm just down to, I probably have them with my Christmas gifts. Oh, you're near Sydney, Australia, Natalie, Christmas baby? Oh, welcome. Do you know Margaret Max? She's one of my friends and my soul sisters. I love her. Hold on, guys. Now, this isn't Palo Santo here, but don't worry, I have Palo Santo here. The real sticks. But this is lemon. Oh, sorry, I just missed that. There are two Vickies. All right, so Vicky B, you're the one from Australia? Yes, and Vicky B, you're Margaret's very good friend, and you went on her lives. I remember when you used to always go and you have your hat on, and you were next to her, and you would do lives together. But you don't really do that anymore, right? Because she works full time now, so she basically I catch her walking talks, and then I think she changed her trajectory. Anyhow, I used to love her lives. And you with her. Okay. I don't know if you could even see my smoke. Okay, so, guys, sometimes if I don't talk, it's because I have this big rig over here to fix up, and I'm not even doing anything official. I'm not doing like any cards. Because I said, should I do some cards and just talk about the subject I want to talk about? And they were like, no cards. Don't even bring the cards into it. Just, it's all for entertainment purposes. And it's all speculation. And it's all, in my opinion, allegedly. Okay? Somebody was teaching me that today. I knew it. I say it sometimes, but apparently you got to say it more. Okay? Cover your ass. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say ass. No, I was supposed to say ass because don't censor me. Okay? Don't censor me. All right. Okay, it might seem odd to the average person if you haven't met me. Okay, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what to do because you want to do something for these souls and for these beautiful people that their life was mowed down in the prime of their life and the best time of their life, and they had a whole thing that was going to happen for them, and they were going to change the world in their own ways. And even if they weren't going to change the world, even if they were just going to experience things and get married and have kids and even get divorced, everything was taken away from them. Have a career, have a job that they worked so hard for in college and in high school, and all the different things that they did and set out to do. They didn't even get a chance to mess anything up because their life was taken out, snuffed out. Okay. So, again, let me just say, this is, even though I do have some facts, and I did listen to the affidavit twice. Once when I was walking, I did a 35-minute walk or maybe even longer. So that was one of my goals because I haven't been walking enough. And I've been just lazy. And no, I did not get back to the gym, but I did, at least I went to walk and I listened to the affidavit. And it was really it was a 2-hour video, over 2-hour video, the podcast that I listened to. And then when I got home, I had to listen again because I had to write down notes. And then as I was writing down notes, things came to me. So I feel like I don't know what to do. I mean, of course, we say prayers and we think a good thought for the families involved, even for BK's family. It's a terrible thing. You never want, a child of yours to go out and do something to defame your whole family and to hurt other families, because his family is ruined too. Oh, nobody's going to get over that, okay? So, I just wanted to do something. I figured that some other people need to talk about it too. Let me just see if anybody's saying anything. Wow, another live. Hi, Doreen. Now I know how to do it, Doreen, so Spirit's telling me to come on. But minus the Jesus juice. They're no fun. Spirits don't want me to have spirits. You live in a different state. That wasn't... Oh, okay. Okay, it is confusing. It is confusing. Okay. It's all right, though. We know some... Hey, Ruby, you got here. You got here. All right, did you take anything for your headache? Did you take anything for your throat and your headache? I hope you did. Okay. All right. I just decided to jump on because I was going to jump on yours, but then you did a video, so I couldn't go on the tail end of yours. All right. I hope you feel better. If you have your selenite, Ruby, put your selenite up here. Well, this is nice and cool. Yeah, no Jesus juice for me either, unfortunately. But I'll try to be good. I got Diet Coke, DC, full of chemicals, right? Drink it if you have it. Okay. All right. So let me just open some frankincense, and then we're going to light the first... Now that we have all the names, the kids' names on these, we'll light them individually, and it'll be almost like a prayer going up to them. And yes, hi chat. Cocoa Puff. Hi Cocoa Puff. I don't think I've ever seen you, Cocoa Puff, but welcome to the Mystic Brady Bunch. Frankincense and myrrh were two of the gifts that the three kings brought for Jesus. One king brought gold, one king brought frankincense, and the other one brought myrrh. And myrrh is incense, but it's very highly spiritual. So you hardly ever see me use it because it's so special to me. And I forgot who gave it to me. I think maybe DC gave it to me. DC, shout out if you're there. I'm pretty sure you gave it to me. DC's probably sleeping, but she'll catch this another time. You're watching the first time my live? Wait, let me see what you said. Hi, Mystic Brady. My first time watching a live, August Moon. This is your very first time watching a live or my live? Or a live in general? Doesn't matter. Either way, that's very good. Why am I holding this like it's a teacup? I'm so weird. Even for myself, I'm very odd. Okay. Here we go. First time watching a live. Well, good. Welcome. Welcome to the Mystic Brady Bunch. I hope you enjoy your stay. Okay, so why must I have all these things lit? Well, it's important to me. It helps me to meditate. It helps me to get in the mood on a spiritual realm. It helps me to get my psychic juices going, so to speak. Not to be creepy, but yeah, there are psychic juices. Am I right, Ruby? Are there psychic juices that need to roll? Okay. I got all the incense going on, but I don't think you see it. Do you see it? Hold on. Got a fire up in here. Okay. So as I'm talking, first I'm going to talk before I light something. Is anybody saying anything? Okay. Yes, Ruby, I hope I don't give you more of a headache. I was watching your video right before I came on, and you got me going. So if you want to say anything as we're talking about the affidavit and the whole case, if anything comes in psychically, feel free to jump in. This is a belief-free zone. This is a Mystic Brady place. Mystic Brady zone, whatever that friggin' means. No, I know what it means. It means that we don't judge each other here. We're allowed to have our opinions, our thoughts, our ideas, and express them in a safe haven, in a psychic realm, and also things that we're seeing on the news, things that we're seeing, on different channels. If we want to talk about it, we can discuss it, and it's all allegedly, and some of it is speculation. I'm speculating. You might be speculating. It's in my opinion, in your opinion, and this is a safe place for that. That's what I want to set up. I feel like I'm Barbara Walters. I had an idea to set up a bunch of women came together and different opinions from different political backgrounds, and they came together and they had a forum, and it was a safe forum. Although that show did not stay safe. Trust me. Trust and believe it did. But it started out, the idea was good. Barbara Walters, rest in peace. I don't think you're 93, though. I think she was a lot older than 93, okay? And the reason why I say that is because I don't think she was 93. I think she was having plastic surgery for a long period of time, and I think she was lying about her age so long that she forgot what her age was, okay? No shade. Barbara Walters, you see in heaven, doesn't matter how old you are. because you go back to your favorite age. So right now, Barbara Walters is about 33. Oh, she just corrected me. 32. 32. Okay. I didn't know if I was going to talk to Barbara Walters. That bothered me. I really didn't think she was 93. I think she was more like 95, 97. Okay? No shade, Barbara. You're in heaven now. You could just let it go. Okay? Relax. All right, guys. All right, so let's get serious. I have some notes. Do I want to go in order? Probably not. I'm not really an order type of person. All right, so let me just start by reading some of my notes. You could jump in. All right, so of course, I don't have the affidavit in front of me. All right, I'm going from memory, and I wrote down a couple of notes. But you can go to Plunder, and she reads the whole thing, and it's not even that long. Like when she reads it, first she discusses a few things, and then she reads the whole affidavit. So it's like a 47-minute or 50-minute video. Then there's a whole bunch of other videos. I think his name is JD I listened to. Or JB, something like that. Anyhow, Brian Enton, there's a whole bunch of them, that reporters that are reading the affidavit. I like to know the specific details because I'm trying to match it up with what I saw psychically, intuitively, which I'm still getting a lot of hate, by the way. Okay, I just checked today and there was a whole bunch of hate. Okay, so I just left it. One person I tried to agree with because she pointed something out. Sometimes when you're talking, you get nervous and you have a misstep. And I think I said, Kaylee, I said Maddie's boyfriend, JD, when I meant Kaylee's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. His name is Jack D. Okay, so I stood corrected on that. And then there was some more hate, but it was all right. It was just like, people just love to say, you were wrong. Or, here's a classic. They say, you're just saying that they were found in the bed together after it was announced all over the news. Well, excuse me, but let me tell you something. Okay, now the New York's going to come out. No, I'm not really fighting today. I'm all for entertainment reasons, purposes only over here. Okay? On Thanksgiving, November 2022, I did my first video for the Idaho 4. Very first video. I had things prepared, but basically Devin was doing the cooking and I was doing the cleaning, and then I sat down. I said I can't hold it in anymore. I sat down and I did my first reading, and whereby I did channel and I did say what I saw psychically, tapped in, I meditated beforehand. Anyhow, I had said, for some reason I feel like the girls were in the same bed. This is before I knew Kaylee was all packed up and moving out. I just saw them in the same bed because they showed me my best friend, Christine Valvik, and a lot of times she'll sleep over my sister's apartment, and we'll lay down in the same bed, or we'll lay on the couch together and just talk and giggle and just, act like idiots and have a lot of fun. And especially they were both feeling very insecure towards the end of the night. They were feeling creeped out. And so they were in the same bed. But the bed was a single little bed. It was a skinny little bed. Okay. So that being said, I had to correct that person. I had to correct that hater. They wanted to just keep on drinking the haterade. But I was like, no. If you go back to my video, that it wasn't even announced yet. There was very little details. And, I could be wrong and was wrong, am wrong. I stand corrected. If I'm wrong, I never say that I am 100% or even 90%. I don't put a number on it because I don't like the numbers. Okay? So I just do the best that I can. And if you hold in what you see, okay? And And first of all, and so I just said, please kindly go to my first video, which was on Thanksgiving. It's time stamped. Okay, I don't know why I just said it like that. I'm not from the South, okay, but I can be. Anyway, I'm here 8 years, so I, but I don't say y'all. I can't say y'all, all right? It will come out phony. All right, anyhow, I directed them to that video whereby I said that, and I said a lot of things, but you know, if they want to be a hater, they're going to be a hater, so who cares? I move on. I keep it moving. I'm not like crying over it, you know, these people are mean to me. No, you know what it is? It's just like a little thorn in your side. Every once in a while it hits you, or in your head. It's like, oh, they don't like me, or somebody's being mean to me. Okay, move on. All right. Is that going to stop me? No, it's not. Okay? And it shouldn't stop us. I mean, maybe it made me pause, and then I asked for direction. And just like I said, should I take down my videos? And they said, oh no. You stand behind them, do you? Or do you not? And I said, I do. And I said, but, you know, what if I was wrong in a lot of things? Well, you're human. So what if it helps? What if you know, it's funny. When you're a psychic on the YouTube streets, you could say 10 things correct, really spot on, right? No one says anything. The 11th thing you said, incorrect. Everybody jumps down your throat, calls you a fake, a phony, a loser. You stole it from somebody. You stole it from the news, TV. You know, and so, but what about the 10 things I said right? Why couldn't we celebrate and pop open the champagnes and validations coming in? Okay. Now I'm just being sparky. Okay. I'm going to stop being sparky. All right. Let me see if is anybody here still? Okay. See, the last time I did this, I was totally behind. I thought you were smoking. Yeah, I wish. The only thing I smoke is Palo Santo up in this bitch. Frankincense and myrrh. And Palo Santo, yeah. And white sage. That's what I smoke. Okay, so. All right. Let me just see. Sometimes I can't read the chat because I can't do both at once. Something was unnecessary. What was unnecessary? It's just so sad and unnecessary. Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. I just got a whole bunch of smoke in my eyes, so I'm not crying. All right? It's just I got smoke in my eyes. 1 second, guys. It just feels like the heat got to be like 1,000 degrees. So it might be spirit coming in. I'm open and receptive to receiving spirit. Only good spirits are allowed. Only not malevolent or evil. Just good spirits from divine and my angels and my spirit guides. That's all. And of course, Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Maddie are always allowed in my home. Okay? If they have any messages, we are open and receptive to receiving it. My chat is highly psychic and highly favored. And you're allowed to go to my chat and you're allowed to come through me. And I thank you. Okay, so one thing that really kind of hit a home run for me is that the DNA that was found on the button of the sheath. Now, granted, I didn't even understand what a sheath was. I had to ask Devin, what's a sheath? At first I thought they said a sheet, and I was like, oh snap. a sheet in the house. And he was like, no, he goes, Kath, a sheath is where you put the knife in. The knife is like a knife holder. And I was like, oh, yes. And remember, those of you who follow me, and maybe Ruby, you will remember, a month ago, I put a picture up. Then I took it down because I didn't want to get in trouble. And it was a picture of the knife. I even drew it in my book. And it was the knife, and it was not foldable. It was the one that you can't fold, and then it had a holder. And then I think I spoke to my soul sisters and Ruby, and we all said, yes, it definitely has a holder. I didn't know the holder was called a sheath. Okay, so let's get that straight. And then Devin was telling me there's a button, because they kept saying there's a button, a button. I was like, oh, button on a sheet? And he goes, no, on the sheath, the holder, there's a button that you clip open so you can get the knife out. And so I go, but what if he had gloves on? And Devin says to me, well, he probably didn't always have gloves on, even if he had gloves on that night. What he did was, another day that he was dealing with the knife, he opened that and took it out, looked at it, put it back, closed it up, and that was with his regular fingerprints. Okay? And then what else he did, BK allegedly, right? Allegedly, because everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, right? United States of America, and elsewhere. But anyhow, what he did was, his fingerprint was on that button of the sheath, okay? And because I really thought it was blood that they found of him. But actually, in the genealogy, they traced that print back to his ancestry, and then they got a hit of his father, right? And you might say, why did they get a hit of his father? Because I didn't understand this at first, because I didn't get my DNA done yet. But my kids did, and a lot of people in my family did. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Okay, anyhow. So they linked it to his father, and so he's a match with his father. And so they said, who was in Idaho on that night, and that has that name. And so they linked it through the car. So the car, I guess, is under his father's name. So I guess he doesn't even have the car under his own name. He's 28. Okay, anyhow, that aside. All right, so the DNA was on the button of the knife sheath. The sheath, the holder, right? For some reason, I want to take this. Don't get scared. My eyeglass thing, just for example, right? So this, when he took the knife out, he was killing in Kaylee's room, in Maddie's room, and Kaylee and Maddie, when he was killing them, he dropped the knife, and it was to the right of Maddie's body, on the bed. Not under the bed, on the bed, according to the affidavit. I could be wrong, okay, but that's what I heard. And they made me stay straight so I could deliver that to you. I don't know why it's that important, but I think a few of us had said we believe he dropped something. And at first I thought he just dropped his blood, maybe his hair, maybe the girls, the ones that had defense wounds, I don't think was Ethan, was Xana and Kaylee. I'm pretty sure, 100% I feel Kaylee, because Steve Goncalves, Kaylee's father, Steve, had said, I'm not even going to try her last name, but Steve had said that his daughter is always a fighter. So there was defense wounds on her, Kaylee, and Xana. All right, so I'll go into the story of what I think I see, just speculation. Maybe I've said it before, maybe not. And then another thing that people have said to me on past videos, they go, you described 3 different people. You described a guy with blue eyes. No, a guy with brown eyes. That was my number one. With reddish hair. Then another guy with olive complexion and blue eyes or hazel eyes. Which is it? You know what? I don't know. I don't know which it is because I'm not God. But you know what? Many readers are getting more than one person. Ruby has gotten more than one person from day one. Okay? I felt like there's one killer. But we might find out that there's other people involved or they know something. There's somehow a link. Okay? But the person that was wearing black head to toe. And where did his clothes go? Because they had to be full of blood. And he didn't just like take them to the laundromat and wash them like Richard Allen did. Washed it right in his own wash machine and kept the blue jacket like an idiot. But meanwhile, his wife saw that blue jacket a million times. Did she say anything? I don't think so. Okay, that's another story. All right, so the DNA on the button is really important. I don't know if it's important to other people, but I feel that's so important. Now, he went back the next day at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock to 9:15, because he wanted to go get his sheath. Because it had United States Marines, something like that. So it's a specific knife. Okay. It's a specific knife, and maybe they can track it to, who was in the Marines, not him, but maybe his father was, maybe his grandfather was. Where did he get that knife from? Okay. To the night. I don't know what that meant. All right, so yeah, Hudson, there was a boy named Hudson, had an accidental drowning. I think it was last January. But I'm not even, him aside, I'm not even going to go there right now. Let's just keep on the affidavit. Okay, so DM, Dylan, okay, last name starts with M. I just found this out after listening and listening and listening to all these different podcasts and then writing down the notes. And Ruby, did you hear this? Dylan was not on the first floor because I kept saying, how could she see the killer 3 times? How was she like almost face to face with the killer? Allegedly. Okay. She wasn't on the first floor. The other roommate, her initials are CF, she was on the first floor. For some reason, Dylan was on the second floor. They have proof for that. So therefore, putting her right next to the kitchen, the door that, the glass doors, sliding doors that open, and Xana and where Ethan would be, across the hall from them. Because I couldn't figure it out. I had to listen back to all these different podcasts. Did everybody know that? Did everybody know that Dylan was located in a room near the kitchen? I don't know if anybody's answering, but okay. Well, it's 45 people here. How come nobody's answering? I don't know how to read the chat. Like I'm going all the way to the beginning, but I need to go all the way to where it is now. Somebody said exactly. Hi, Dorsey. Okay, sorry. Just me in Idaho. Sorry, my phone never understands what I'm trying to say. They put the killer's DNA in because he was not in the system. Yes, for not having a record. Right, correct. They pulled stuff in from that car. Dad and matched it up. Yes. And they pulled stuff from the garbage, from their garbage in Pennsylvania, because obviously cops were watching and following them for 3 days. 4 days, I'm sorry, 4 days. 3 people. Yes, Ruby, you always got 3 people. Did the survivors hear the attacks? Were they sleeping? I can't even imagine sleeping through that. Hey, Mom, wanna said my description about this case? Yes. Coral, go ahead. Go ahead, Coral. I want to hear. My empath tell me that might describe the brain as a drug. Brian is a drug addict and liked to play with knives. Well, Brian did have problems with, I believe it was it meth or heroin? And then he went to rehab or he got clean, and some people think that he fell into it again, but I'm not sure. I feel like this was always a fantasy of his, but he did have trouble with drugs. He did. But how did he get his associates and then his BA and then his master's and then he was on his way to his PhD? That is not easy. That is really a hard accomplishment. I have a BA and a master's over here, so I know. It took me 13 years to complete my master's because I had to do it just like one class a semester. But, he was on his own without a relationship, and I guess his family supported him. Okay, so yeah, anybody feel free to chat. I'm just going to read my notes and then we'll discuss. So Dylan said she saw the killer 3 times, not once, twice, three times. Okay, the first time, so I flipped out. I could not believe that Dylan was on the second floor with Xana and Ethan. I thought she was always on the first floor, and I was like, how could she see the killer? What? This is not making any sense. Now, the other roommate was on the first floor, allegedly, right? And sound asleep, door locked, sound asleep. Okay, so Dylan comes out at some point and sees a dark dressed man, right? She thinks it's around between 4 and 4:12 a.m. So this proves my theory that I said, I know people were awake in that house. And then when I tried to tap into it psychically, I saw Xana, just like sitting on the bed, very happy, just spent her evening with her boyfriend, who she was very, very in love with. He's very in love with her. They're soulmates. Yes, they would have gotten married. They would have had children. They would have graduated together and just had a beautiful, fun life together. Okay? And I'll tell you what I see, but I see her with her phone. She's sitting on the bed like this. Okay. Also, she ordered food DoorDash, right? Xana. That's the bag you see on the table. And it says Xana, and it's so sad. I think it's pizza. And I thought to myself, I don't think she got a chance to eat that because it didn't even look opened. So I have a feeling she did not get up to go get that DoorDash, that Ethan got up to go get the DoorDash. But at the same time that the DoorDash guy comes and that this could all be found out, with the DoorDash people, the same time that the DoorDash came, the killer, BK, is outside waiting to come in. So I'm pretty sure he came in soon after the DoorDash guy leaves. And a lot of people think he was in the closet. I never got that. So I'm not going to say something I don't get, that I don't feel like in my soul. All right? But I could be wrong. I'm just going to tell you what I think, and it's speculation and it's intuitive, but it's speculation. It's not based on facts. It's based on my opinion. Okay? So I've always got him outside watching. watching, waiting for them to all be in there, waiting for them to be kind of like settled in their beds, especially watching Maddie. And I do believe the targets were Maddie and Xana, because Kaylee wasn't supposed to be there, and Ethan wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know how often Ethan stayed over. Don't know how often, okay? So I feel like soon after the DoorDash guy leaves, Xana says, "Can you go get my food, honey?" So she doesn't have to get out of bed, and he'll just bring it to her because she's really hungry. And so he goes to get it, but he's met by BK. And then either Xana or Kaylee, now this was in the transcript, this was in the affidavit, Kaylee or Xana, according to Dylan, she hears either Kaylee or Xana say, "Somebody's here." Not meaning like happy, "Oh, DoorDash is here." It's like somebody is in the house. That's not Ethan. That's not one of the girls. Okay? That somebody like bad. It's not good. It's somebody not invited just entered the house. So if he got out of his car after the DoorDash guy leaves, within minutes, got out of his car, jumped up to the second floor, there's a ladder, got up there and opened up the door. And then Dylan sees him, and then she locks herself in her room. I don't know if she thinks he sees her. I don't know if that was evident on the first try. Then she hears, earlier she hears some noise upstairs, which is the third floor, but she just says it sounds like Kaylee playing with her dog. But why would Kaylee be playing with her dog at 4 a.m.? Okay, well, sometimes you go out for a night of drinking, and then you let the dog out at 2 when they got home at 2, Maddie and Kaylee let the dog out, and then, the dog is all awake and wants you to pet them because they missed you. But usually dogs are kind of like on a schedule, okay? They're not like cats. Dogs are like waiting for you to go to sleep so that they can go to sleep with you. Yeah, they were like a few pets, but he was a puppy, so he might have been a little bit more rambunctious. So she just probably thought it was them playing. But then she hears crying, like, and she thinks it's Xana because it's close by crying. And then she hears a voice, and she knows what Ethan's voice sounds like by this time, right? She knows. And she says, "I hear somebody, a man, say." Now, if it was Ethan's voice, she would say, "I heard Ethan say to Xana." But she didn't say that. She said, "I heard a man's voice say, 'Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to help you.' Or 'Don't be scared. I'm going to help you.' Okay? 'Don't worry. I'm going to help you.' Or 'Don't be scared. I'm going to help you.' Okay? So she comes out a second time and sees him, I think, coming out of the room. She doesn't hear the crying anymore. Supposedly she goes back in, but she's just standing there and he walks towards her. She sees his eyebrows. He has a mask on over his nose and mouth, so she doesn't see a nose and mouth. So maybe it was like one of those masks that you wore for the pandemic and it was black. I don't know. But she could see his eyebrows and his eyes. And she said he was about 5'10", not muscular, but like athletic build. Okay? It's a pretty close description. of BK, but she says for some reason she freezes and I guess doesn't go back in her room, but he just walks past her and walks out the door. And then she goes in her room, locks the door, but does not call anybody, does not call the friend downstairs, does not call Xana, does not call nobody. She said she was in a state of shock. Okay? I can understand that. We are not here to be judges of somebody, especially a young girl that was in a traumatic experience. Of course, everybody wants to know, why didn't you call the cops? Why didn't you call somebody? Why didn't you call a friend? Why didn't you call, why did she wait all those hours, 8 hours, and then call her friends? Still not call the cops, call her friends. Like, she heard a thugging sound. First the moaning, crying that she thought was Xana. I thought she said she heard a scream, but I'm not sure. She just heard rustling around, but she was very scared. She did see him very close, but why would he just walk past her with his knife? Did he have his knife out? Because he certainly didn't have the holder. He didn't have the holder at that point. Okay, so the last time she finally gets unfrozen, gets herself in her room, locks her door, but does not call anybody, and then nothing is done until 11 o'clock the next day, to which either she faints when she goes outside to make coffee or something, or the friend, the other survivor, her initials are CF. Okay. Okay, yeah, let me just look at this page. Is anybody saying anything? Okay. Yes, Dylan was on the second floor. See, didn't they always say that Dylan and the other roommate were on the first floor and in their locked doors? I always heard that Dylan was on the first floor with the other friend. Scroll down. I have heard a few things. Never a dull moment at the marina. Yeah, I thought she was on the first floor too. This is all news to me. Allegedly, a girl was supposed to move in, decided not to, so Dylan moved in that room. Wow. I feel bad for Dylan too, and the other one. Heroin. That's what BK was on at one time. And then he took kickboxing classes and he got really, really thin. Was there anything with Adderall? I watched a podcast of a detective, 2 FBI detectives sitting at a table clean, actually said that 2 weeks after the murder, they were watching him. Good, great job on the police. I really have to give them kudos. Let's find Michael Vaughn now too. You may be right. You may be right, Coral. Okay, please do us here. Please do us here? What do you want me to do? What does that mean? Please do us here. She saw a killer 3 times. Why didn't she call the police? Yes, we don't know. She said she was in a state of shock. She also thought he was coming back to finish her, to kill her. But I don't know why. Some people say maybe she didn't have a phone, but I think she had a phone. I think she was maybe drunk or high, but even when you're drunk and high, if something really crazy happens, you kind of snap out of it a little bit and have a flight or fight reaction. Like, why didn't she open the window and jump out? Why didn't she put stuff against the door and like bang on the walls and stuff and see if anybody else was alive? Like the girl downstairs. Yeah, we don't know why, and we're not here to beat up on her at all. We're here to just talk about the case, because she's going to have a very, very hard PTSD, and so is the other girl, survivor guilt, and it's not necessary. It's not her fault that, somebody decides to be a psycho and take everybody out. You read the affidavit, she saw him, and he walked out. Yeah. She, looked at his eyes, and he looked at her, right? Did he look at her? Ever? Does anybody know that? You live in Pennsylvania? A few years ago, he was shocked to find out that there was an associate had been pegged for 25-year-old cold case. Yes. DNA. I think I heard about that. It happens all over the place. DNA is such a great thing now. She must have went into shock. Yes, definitely she went into shock. And he did return. He came by in the morning. But a lot of people are saying, was she actually sleeping? Late to do this live. I'm sorry, brave angel. I've been here since about 12. Honestly, in my opinion, I think that the killer was already in. A lot of people do. Just me in Idaho. You and a lot of people. But I just can't see it. If I don't see it psychically, I might understand it intellectually and factually, but what I see him out in the car, I'm watching, waiting for everybody to be set up, almost like he wanted them to be sleepy. He wanted them to be in bed. Between those hours, usually people aren't as active, except if you're me and Xana and actually Dylan. Kaylee was awake too. So now, they're saying that whole thing saying that all the kids were sleeping and, they didn't know what happened. At least it went by fast. Now that whole thing has to be rethought because they were awake except for Maddie. I get Maddie out cold. And the other friend, I don't have any tap into her. I can't tap into her at all. I do see Dylan sleeping at one point and being woken up. I feel like that is genuine, what she said. You're watching... I'm late as I was watching your older videos, Ruby. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure, Coral. One is inside and the other... One is outside and one is inside. Is that what you meant? Okay, get with it before we leave. Oh, that puts a lot of pressure on me because I'm very long in the tooth. All right. I'm almost done with my notes and then we're just chatting. Okay, so DM, which is Dylan, said a man 5'10" in a mask. He walked past her and she froze. BK went by 1122 King Street 11 to 12 times before the murders happened. The DNA was on a button of the knife holder, the sheath, and he left the sheath by accident next to Maddie, to the right of Maddie. So there's a single bed in Maddie's room, and Maddie's here. The sheath was there to the right of her, and almost on top of her, I see Kaylee. Right next to her, almost on top of Maddie, is Kaylee. Okay, so 11 to 12 times he went by the house. He went by the house before the murders. Okay, so they linked the DNA, that little print that was on the button of the sheath, to the trash in Pennsylvania at the Koberger's house. Koberger's trash, and they had a match. The tan leather U.S. Marine case. But they still don't have the knife. Xana got DoorDash at 4 a.m. and she was active on TikTok. Okay. There was lots of phone pings. And like somebody said, somebody heard not somebody, the police were watching the pings from his phone. So even though BK turned off his phone or put it on airplane mode, there still can be pings at certain times right before you turned it off and when you turned it back on. So over by Genesis Avenue or Genesis area, Genesis, Idaho, south of Moscow, between 4:50 and 5:20 a.m. They have the phone pinged over there. So obviously he turned it back on. Uniontown, Washington, and then where he lived over by Pullman, he lives there. It pinged over there, and Uniontown Road. What does this all mean? This is what the cops need and the FBI needed to place him, actively driving past the house after the murders and maybe before the murders. But during the murders, his phone is off. Okay? Yeah, I think that's all. That's all the notes I wrote. So let me see what everybody's saying. Okay, if she locked herself in, she felt threatened, so why not call 911? I don't know, Eileen. We all want to know that. You going to bed? Okay, sweetheart. Thank you for jumping on. Love you. I'm not going to be alive. I'm not going to be alive long. I'm not going to be live long because it's just I'm not doing a long thing. Feel better, Ruby. We love you. I'll say a prayer for you tonight too. You just need to sleep long time. Love you. Emily. Are you Emily from the UK or the other Emily? I'm glad you're here. I never know if I have to go to work until late. So as of now, I don't have to go to work. There wasn't any jobs. So, yes, this not calling 911 is upsetting. Yes, brave angel. It bothers me too. It bothers everybody in the world. Especially the families, I'm sure, and I'm sure it bothers Dylan. She was afraid and she couldn't move. She was in shock. I think she's the one who fainted. Was she the one who fainted? Does anybody know if she's the one who fainted? I'm lighting Ethan's Palo Santo. This is for Ethan. We wish you lots of love and your journey in heaven. And please let us know that you're okay. Send your family signs. Thank you. Okay, let me see. Oh, am I missing anybody? I have a problem with her not calling 911. She saw him walk out the door and didn't hear him or see him come back, and she should have called. Yes. I can't imagine how the families of the victims feel hearing this. Well, you know what? I did see the family on a newscast like maybe 20 minutes before I came on, and the mother and father were on Ashley Banfield, I think. It was just a short clip, and the father said, there'll be no peace until he is deceased. BK, meaning BK. And he's like, I know guilty until, proven innocent until proven guilty. But, however, that's when we'll have some peace, a little bit of peace. And the mother said, yes, we're going to forgive them because we're not going to keep the negative energy. And I don't know if this was the same day that they just saw him today in court. I can't imagine that. I think I would have to scream something. I can't imagine it. I'm sure it gets harder before it'll get easier because I think he's going to plead not guilty. What does everybody else think? Do you think he'll plead not guilty? You're welcome, honey. Is anybody here? BF. So many hours later, they even did diagrams of the two girls being on the bottom floor. Yes! So where did they freaking come up with this? All of a sudden, now she's on the second floor. Like, that flipped me out. Because I drew diagrams of the whole house. And then I had to redo it because one of my pictures that I did on Thanksgiving, when I first did my reading, I made a mistake and I put Ethan and Xana on the third floor. And I put Kaylee and Maddie on the second floor. And of course, I put DM and CF on the first floor because that's what they told us. Okay? Yes, they always said that both on the first floor, and some people speculated on the second floor. Hello, I'm new to your channel. Hi, Sylvia. Welcome to the Mystic Brady Bunch. Thank you. Thank you for that. Stranger in the house, she hears crying and noises. And when she said the thing about the crying, oh my gosh, that destroyed me because I can hear that psychically. Like, I see Kaylee. Kaylee wasn't crying. Kaylee was angry. Kaylee tried to fight him. And Xana, she tried to fight too, but you know what she saw? You know why she was crying? Because she saw him kill her boyfriend. That's what I'm seeing psychically. I could be wrong, but I feel like he comes in. Ethan was available because he was just coming out to get her DoorDash food. So he sees him coming out of the room, and he knows that he has to eliminate the biggest enemy, which would be the only man in the house that he didn't expect there. So he goes to get him. Ethan didn't even get a chance. I think Ethan turned to try to, like, I don't know. Maybe he didn't even see him. And because what I hear from Ethan, now I just had his thing lit. Let me light it again. Ethan goes, Katrina, he sucker punched me. He sucker stabbed me. So you know what a sucker punch is. You're not ready. Your back is to somebody and they punch you. So you're not even ready for it, right? You can't even defend yourself. That's like not even face to face. But he did look in his eyes. Because when he turned around, he's like, he couldn't believe it. And then he stabbed him. The final stab was in the front too. So the back and then the front. That's what I get. So she hears somebody else. Xana's hearing somebody else. A man's voice. She knows something just happened to Ethan. Maybe she could even see him in the doorway. In the doorway. Okay? And then she knows what's coming. So she's crying. And he goes, don't worry. Something like that. I'm gonna help you. You know how he helped her? He killed her too. Let's light Xana's now. This is for Xana. Xana Kernoodle. And I'm open and receptive to receiving any messages from you guys or from my spirit guides to help us understand what you want us to understand. She's like, Xana's like, we're trying not to be angry anymore because you can't go to the higher level of heaven. When you're angry, you have to go through all the resentment, that all goes away because you're in the best place in the world. You're in the best place. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. It's glorious. She's like, Katrina, there are castles that are made out of gold. There are castles made out of silver. It's real. Heaven is real. That's what she's telling me. So you're not mad anymore? She said, I feel bad for my family and my friends. Okay. She goes, I heard things that night. And it was a weird feeling. She goes, because it was the best night. And then there was a weird foreboding feeling. She goes, it was almost like we were married and on a honeymoon 1 minute. And the next minute, it all came tumbling down. I understand, sweetheart. She's like, nobody should like push Dylan or the other roommate because they are victims too. They're victims too. Just give them love, give them support. And she says it has a lot to do with, she goes, all of us were having a fun right before Thanksgiving, last weekend, before we go home to our families, last weekend, with our friends, before Thanksgiving, after exams and papers, we were letting off steam, and that's why it was magical, but there was a weird feeling, a foreboding feeling. And that's why her door was open, because she did have a new lock on her door. Her father had just put, sweetheart, your father just put the lock on your door, right? Yes, but because Ethan was going to go get her food. She didn't get a chance to eat it. Why? Anything else you want to tell me, sweetheart? Love you very much. She goes, I'm glad that the police got him, and that all you guys, meaning all of us, who tried to help. She says, thank you for that. She goes, but now, she goes, know that we are in heaven, and we are still around in spirit, but we are not in pain. We're in the best place, and we still see each other from time to time. It's funny because when you're in heaven, first you see, the other people that transferred over when you transferred over, okay? But then you're met by ancestors or relatives that that are there for you to help you make that transition, especially if it was a violent one. Sometimes you get stuck, like in that house, like Shanann got stuck in that house. But she was able to pass over when everybody makes prayers, has prayers, and good thoughts. Don't think that they are in pain. Yeah, I will tell them. She's like, I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my friends' families, Ethan's family, Ethan's brothers and sister. And she wants them to know, Ethan's family, that because he's a triplet, he's part of a triplet, that he's always around them. And he's still laughing. He's always laughing, smiling and laughing. He just wanted to protect Xana. He was like a little bit down. He was like, I thought I would be protecting her. He goes, but I didn't even get to protect her. But yes, he did, because I see her spirit coming out of the bed after she just cried and all that. And then she gets out of the bed, but it's her spirit. It's not her physical body. It's like her spirit. And there is Ethan, because he crossed over first. He's not laying on the floor anymore. He's standing there with his hand out. Come here, baby. Because she didn't know. She was confused. He was confused too, but he kind of was more calmer with it. Ethan. He goes, Katrina, finally, after I go to heaven, on earth I wasn't mature. I wasn't that mature, but when I cross over, then I'm finally the more mature one for my baby. He's calling her his baby. You know how they're always in pictures with her, because she's short and he's tall, and she's hugging his waist, like her head is like just up to his chest. That's what she's showing me. That she goes, we still do that. We're always doing that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I believe Madison was really the only one who kind of fell asleep, was in a sleep state, and the other roommate that was on the first floor. But Kaylee was still awake. She felt like somebody was in the house, or she was uneasy. And Xana wanted to be happy because she felt like she was on a honeymoon. And then she was getting her food, and she was on, the news said that she was on TikTok at 4 a.m. But she had an uneasy feeling too. And I think she asked Ethan to stay, because he's from another house and they have a curfew. But I think he was going to stay because she was uneasy and she wanted to keep the night going and keep it, she just wanted him by her. Let me see. Is anybody here? We are only hearing what they needed to say. And yes, Deborah, correct. Yeah, there's so much more. They're not even telling us. She posted to her VC account later. What does that mean? She had an account. Adrenaline should have kicked in. Yeah. This is sus. Well, I'm sorry until we know all. Yes. People, if you hear all that, just call 911 immediately. Just call the police. Yes, always call the police. Of course, we could sit here and we could say, yeah, you should have done A, B, or C. But have we ever been in this situation? I mean, maybe we've been involved in a very violent crime. But, until you're in that situation, you don't know. And I just call them babies, because even though they're in college, they're just, maybe they're going to make a law. Because this happened, Idaho 4, maybe they're going to pass a law down the road. You never know. That anybody in these, houses that are for the colleges, the person who owns the house should have all different cameras everywhere. There should be updated locks. There should be so much more security going on to protect these kids, to protect our kids. Imagine you send your kid to college and they end up getting killed. Come on. Oh my God. So maybe there's going to be some kind of law because of Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Maddie. for security wise. There was a news clip that showed a white car come back to the house. Yes, it came back. He did come back because the phone pinged. He wanted to get his sheath, but he realized he couldn't go in there. Yes, I heard the killer had been stalking the house. Yes, 11 to 12 times he came over. Did I get anything on Ethan? I said a whole big thing about Ethan. You'll have to watch it in the playback. I said a whole thing on Ethan. I can't possibly restate it. Did not want to keep. Yes. And you know what? The cops, I give them kudos. Everybody was mad at them. People were like, oh, this is 4 weeks in. Well, look at Delphi. 5-6 years? Come on. 2 little girls killed? So 1 month. This is excellent. Killer went back to the house. There were survivors. He came back. Something is not right. Yeah. Well, the 2 girls supposedly stayed in their own rooms. And one girl, I don't know if it was Dylan or the other roommate, got up and went to the kitchen to go make coffee or breakfast or whatever. There's only one main kitchen on the 2nd floor. So it was probably Dylan. So when she got out of her room, she sees Ethan laying on the floor and thinks he's making believe, with Halloween with the blood and stuff, laying on the floor. And she was like, he's trying to kid me. But remember what happened the night before? So why didn't you remember that? Or was it the other roommate that came from downstairs, upstairs to go make coffee and then sees Ethan laying there and all the blood? And then ran out of the house. One of the roommates saw that, ran out of the house and fainted. Then the other roommate, we don't know which, ran outside and called her friends. So a whole bunch of friends, a couple of friends came over. And then finally, there was a 911 call. Guess what? Close to 12 o'clock. All right, so this happens around 4:12 in the morning. Between 4:12 and 5 o'clock in the morning, the murders happen. What I got psychically was everything took place within 13 minutes. I don't know why I got that. I kept seeing 12, 13, 12 and 13. The month is, 11, 12. Yeah. Between 12 and 13 minutes, that's a lot. That's a lot of things happened. And that could be why he just left without trying to kill more. Because maybe he wasn't aware of the other people in the house. He was watching specific people. Oh, okay. What if the sheath or knife was stolen? I think he left with the knife. I think the police know that he has the knife, but he did something with it. I think he buried it, but I don't know, maybe he could have thrown it out before the big trip. Because you have to understand, he stayed there the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th. He didn't leave until his father flew over. And then he got his license plate changed from Pennsylvania to Idaho or Washington. And then he got 4 new tires. Okay, his father helped him do that. And then he graduated with a ceremony. And then he didn't leave till December 15th. So he didn't go back to Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving. He was here all this time. It's messed up. Yes, Deborah, I totally get. She was in shock. And she probably was a little drunk or a lot drunk and maybe very high. Maybe she took a pill. After she locked herself in her room, maybe she took a pill. Maybe she's on medication. We don't know yet. We can't blame anybody that reacts a certain way because we don't know yet. Does it seem weird and suspect? A little bit. But do I psychically believe that she had anything to do with the murders? No, I don't. I don't get that. Maybe other people do. I don't get that. I get like a total shock. A lot of shock. I'd like to know what she was doing and the roommate was doing that night, though. You don't understand. How did he do all of this in 20 minutes? DoorDash at 4 a.m. implies they were awake. Well, DoorDash implies that Xana was awake and Ethan was awake. But it doesn't imply that everybody was awake. But psychically, I see Kaylee awake, not going to sleep. I think Maddie went to sleep after the last calls to Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, and he didn't answer back. So I feel like she had a lot to drink and she fell off to sleep. But I don't think that Kaylee was sleeping because she had an uneasy feeling. We just don't know because I'm sure there's more. You know what I thought? I thought, wouldn't somebody take their phone like Kaylee? She was always with her phone. Put it on record and put it under the bed. Because they have everybody's phones from that day. They have everybody's phones. And what if somebody recorded some things? That the police aren't going to tell us about that yet. You kind of doubt that the car does it for you. I strongly getting PK as well as a female. Yeah, Ruby, she left because she wasn't feeling well, but she always got 3 people, and she does get a female energy, but I don't. But, I could be wrong. I'm always just going to tell you what I get. I'm not going to twist it or turn it. This is just the beginning, yes. YT Grandma, how you doing? I don't know if I said hello to you. How you doing? I hope you're feeling better too. I feel bad for the friend who was scared to go night jogging because a killer was on the loose and he called a friend to go with him and it turned out to be PK. I don't mean to laugh, but that was ironic. Yes. That was ironic. Saying, hi from Sacramento. Hi, Sylvia. Am I looking at old chat? Wait, what time is it? It's almost 2 o'clock. Just one more thing I wanted to say about that shows that I watch. We're concerned because they have only 114 pieces of evidence. I hope they have more. Oh, I think they have much more. I think they have 1,000. I just saw 1,000, so that's why I'm saying that. I had a frightening experience, a lot of anxiety. I called on my cell phone 911. That's me, though. Yeah. You're from Lodi? Cool. Oh, thank you. I just always feel like I'm boring people because I stayed on way too long the other night. But I just felt like I have to do more lives. But they don't have to be long. But I thought people would want to discuss the affidavit. So that's why I named this affidavit chat. You saw a guy in your house with a mask after hearing my roommate scream in a voice? Yes. I think we're going to find out why she didn't call 911. I think she was high. I think she took something, and I think they're going to, if they take her phone, if they have her phone records, I kept on getting QU, and then it turns out her boyfriend's name is Quinn. I don't know if that's his first name or his last name, but I kept getting QU in my alphabet meditations, and a lot of people like gave me crap for my alphabet meditations, and they were like, she wrote the whole alphabet. Of course she's going to get these letters. But no, I got B and I got C, Brian Christopher. Okay, that's pretty good. And I got a lot of Q's. And Queen Street was right across from King Street, which they lived on. But it could be Q's in the name. I got X, I got E, let's light something. Let's light one for Madison. Madison, Maddie, May. We hope that you're okay in heaven. Any messages from you? Please let us know. She said thank you for the pink. You're very welcome, sweetheart. I'm sorry that it's not bright or pink. I'm sorry. She has a message for her boyfriend. She wished that she could have spent more time with him, especially right before. I think they had a plan to meet up, but then things kept getting in the way, and she goes, I wish I would have, I think his name is Jake. I wish I would have tried harder for you to try harder to make plans like to get together. Even though they were going to get together, I think around Thanksgiving, but they both had their, family things to do, and she's just sorry about that, and that she missed him. She did miss him, especially that night. And she was scared. She goes, but I had too much to drink, maybe too many shots, and she didn't understand what was happening. She knew it was something bad, something that was going to change her life, that there was nothing she could do. And she said, I'm glad I have my best friend with me to go through it. But she looked down and she didn't understand why she wasn't getting up. She goes, I thought we both were sleeping. But then she saw that bad person. And see, she got mixed up because the same thing in my head, I never felt hot about the white car. I just psychically couldn't see the white car. Some people couldn't, some people could. I did see the black, like, I don't know cars and stuff and SUVs, but this looked like a Ford. And it was black with the black windows. And what is the meaning of it? Either the cab they came in, the Uber that they came home in, was like this type of SUV, type of Ford black car, or the food, the food that Xana ordered was dropped off by a black car. Because I kept seeing that. And when I discussed this case with my sister Christine, she kept saying the food thing is going to be important. Food is going to be important. I think Ruby did say that too. But Ruby thought it was the food truck important. I think the food being delivered, we just found this out. Or at least I just found it out. The food was delivered at 4 a.m. So did she call up at 3:30? Did she call up at 3:45? Like, I don't know how fast they deliver DoorDash. Anyhow, did the DoorDash guy who delivered the food to Xana at 4 a.m., did he see the white car? Did he see BK in the white car, like, driving by freaking 4 o'clock in the morning? Or parked somewhere? Maybe he saw it. I just heard that it was important. I'm sure the FBI is on it. This is for you, Maddie. God bless you. She said she always gives her father hugs. And my other family, which is Kaylee's family. Thank you. Okay. Anybody saying anything? Okay. We are concealed carry, but most important, we are a death penalty state. Yes. He already did plead not guilty. He already did? I knew it. I could feel that he was going to do that. He's going to try. He's not going to be able to get out. Yes, he will plead not guilty until the disclosure is damning. Yes, I wonder if they have vegan food in prison. I doubt it. BK had to cook dinner. I said, I think that. I don't know. Oh, okay. I understand, Brave Angel. I don't know what I heard on the news. F is actually BF. F is actually BF. What do you mean by that? Oh, okay. Yes. The other roommate. Okay, so there's DM and there's BF. Okay. And I think their phone should be taken to the FBI as well. I think police were keeping that to themselves until now. DM is on the second floor. That makes sense. Yes. What a senseless act. Yes. Oh, my bad. I need sleep. I'm sorry. Never a dull moment. Don't worry, Marina. You can go to sleep. I'll be on another time. I'm going to be getting off soon, too. I just want to do Kaylee's stick. Dorsey Granger said boring? Well, I'm not the channel for you then. I'm not the channel for you. And don't ever try to rush me during live. This is my channel. Yes. What is, I think, how rude are you? That's what you think happened too, Deborah? I thought that too. When he said he'd help by taking her out of her misery, that's what he meant. Because she was crying because she saw her boyfriend and the love of her life get killed in the doorway. That's what I see psychically. Dorsey, just move on. You have a choice to watch or not. Yeah, you don't need to be rude to me. Would you like me to come to your house and crap all over your dining room table? Just kidding. I'm going to ignore that. It's probably just a hater sent over from another channel. One of my friends. Okay, I'm sorry if I saw a guy in my house. Okay, all right, now I'm behind. See, what I don't understand is, am I supposed to scroll that way or that way to get the most recent? I guess it's this way. That poor girl will suffer for survivor's guilt. Yes. And the other one too. The other roommate too. Tracy, is that you, my friend? Yes, sending love to the victims. I'm going to do Kaylee's stick, and then I'm probably gonna tap out. I could never be bored watching Katrina. Oh, thank you. Where are you from, Jen Jen? You're eating dinner? Leisha's here. Leisha, somebody just said I'm boring and told me to hurry up with my whatever I'm doing, and I said don't ever rush me. And then they said they're leaving because I'm boring. Hey, you can't please everybody. What do they want for free? Pretty sure BK was a foodie. His Instagram account had lots of food emojis. Oh wow, really? Natalie Christmas baby? See, I don't know how to do Instagram. I understand how to do Facebook, of course, and I know how to do YouTube really well. But I can't get Instagram. I do have access to some TikToks, but not like personal. So I just watch, you know who I watch? Jonathan Lee Richards. He's very good at like little short videos that show the Instagram and stuff. No, he has not pled guilty officially. Oh, okay. They'll be hearing on the 12th, right? Leisha, how are you feeling? Are you feeling any better? Because I remember you were taking the Mucinex and whatnots. Yeah, Bethany. Sending healing mojo to my way, please. You got the vid? You got the V? Oh, I'm going to be putting your name on my candle, okay? Ruby is sick too, so she might have it, or just maybe the virus. But I will be putting you on my candle, okay? I have the markers here and everything. Hi, Patty H. Thank you for that. Tracy, you're Tracy, my number one stalker? Are you my number one stalker? Because your emoji looks different. Used to have your face. Thank you, Leisha. I got a little mad, but I'm over it. They came in with a lot of negative energy. I could feel it. Western Canada. Woo. It's 1 a.m. there. I don't know where Zen Jen is, but she's probably at work. So she can't catch my live. I didn't tell anybody I was going live because I didn't think. Oh, you're not the stalker, Tracy? Okay. That's a different Tracy. I think she has Tracy with the I. That's okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to do Kaylee's Palo Santo and see if there's any messages for Kaylee. And just say a nice little prayer for Kaylee, and then I'm going to be out, okay? Because I didn't want to make this too long. Okay, Kaylee? Okay. Kaylee? I'm pretty sure her middle name is Jade. Kaylee Jade. If you have any messages for us, we just want to wish you and your family peace and serenity and lots of love, and know that a lot of people love you, cherish you, and so sorry for that you had to get your life taken from you. But I know that you are alive in heaven. She keeps on telling me every time. She always talks about Papa or a Papa. She shows me he looks like Christmas. He looks like Santa Claus. Okay? He looks like Santa Claus. So I think it might be her grandfather, it might be her uncle or some ancestor or somebody that loved her very much. She loved him. And she said he helped her because it was very violent. So he helped her go over to the light. And she said she found out what she thought while she was alive and he passed away. She still wanted to connect with him and she missed him very much. And she felt his energy. And she said, Katrina, he was watching over me. He was there every time I thought about him or every time I would cry and think, I wish Pop Pop was here. He was there. And he helped me a lot, she said. And do you still stay with Maddie? Your best friend? Of course. She goes, we have other things to do, but we do come back together. She goes, we lived many lifetimes together. And a lot of times we were blood related. Sometimes I was her mother and she was my daughter. Sometimes she was my daughter and I was her mother. And a lot of times we were sisters. Do you have any messages for your family or your friends? Yeah, don't get stuck in the anger. It's I know it's easy to say when you're somebody in heaven, but don't get stuck in the anger because we are at ease here. We are still working, still doing things, still keeping busy and in the best place in the world. And we don't want anybody to have that stress. Yeah, but the person that took our lives needed to be caught so that otherwise he was going to take more lives. She goes, Katrina, I would never do anything differently. I love my life. I love how my life was. Yeah, I wish it could be longer. She goes, but you know what? It was meant to be. And she goes, maybe things will be different because of us. And kind of like what I was thinking of before, that there's going to be some kind of law in these houses, more security, more protection for people, young people. Because it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have been wipe out. You know, somebody could just walk into your house and wipe everybody out. And she goes, and I should have been careful. What do you mean, honey? She's saying, like, she was posting a lot of stuff, but that's not what she meant. She meant, like, locking doors. And she's showing me doorknobs, keys, locking doors, curtains, shades, things like that. She's showing me. But she wanted I think she let the dog out. She let the dog out on that, the deck. Yeah. And then just didn't lock it. But everybody, she goes, all of us were a little careless with locking things. I understand. It's not your fault. She's like, I know that. Katrina, I know that. Oh my, she's showing me more babies. She's showing me, like, I think it's her sisters. She says there will be another baby from my sister that has a baby already. But she has another sister, and she said, and a brother. She says, I see all their kids. There's more kids coming. There's weddings, everything. She goes, I want them to be happy. She's very cheerful, she has a cheerful energy, a cheerful aura that she took over to heaven. She likes to make people laugh. She doesn't want people to be sad and crying. She's like, oh, boo-hoo, enough. Boo-hoo, enough. Oh, you're a beautiful soul. And we're not going to ever forget you. She just told me stop being sad. She doesn't want me to be sad. But keep doing it. Oh, thank you. Because I was wondering if I should, maybe I'm all off on the wrong track. I mean, I got a lot of haters, Kaylee. She goes, tell me about it. Yeah. Oh. She just gave me a piece of advice. Okay, let me light that again. Can you just tell me that again so I can describe what you're saying? In actual words, because it's like spirit words. When a spirit is talking to me, it's like spirit words. Okay, so she's telling me, she goes, yeah, you're outgoing too. She goes, like I was, and, but you got to protect yourself. You got to have some boundaries. Because she goes, there's eyes looking at you that you don't even know that they're looking at you. And that's scary a little bit. She goes, you should be scared. Oh my gosh. Well, how do I protect myself? She goes, you see what I did? And I said, yes. She goes, do the opposite. Okay. No, just in terms of like, the social media is like out of control, that there are people out there that are sick. They're just sick individuals. They didn't just like get that way because there's so much social media and they're a little bit jealous of you, or you rejected them. She goes, that's not the thing. She said, people are just sick. They're just born sick. And they would do this just, like, for example, serial killers out there that didn't have social media. They managed to kill people without having anybody's Instagram because it wasn't involved yet. It wasn't invented yet, right? The internet wasn't here yet. So there's always what she's trying to say is there's always going to be people out there that are haters and that are, there's a difference between the hater and the killers and sick individuals that really, stalk you. And stalkers have to be stopped. Stalkers they have to pay attention to it. And she was trying to tell people for the longest time that she had a stalker, that she felt stalked. Even if the guy, BK, was after mainly Xana and Maddie, he knew her because she was with them. She was in the circle. And she had the feeling. She was very intuitive, and so was Xana. Very intuitive. Xana, I feel, was an empath and always used her psychic abilities. Had trouble sleeping, I feel like, since a kid. Since, kind of like me. I feel that energy with Xana. And Kaylee always just wants to make everybody laugh. Everybody be happy. Oh, I love you. Always saying I love you to everybody. Sorry. She had a message for her mom. She was like, Mom, I was going to get you that present. I know you didn't believe me, but I was going to get you that present. We were just going to enjoy ourselves. I just didn't get a chance to get back there, but I'm always around you. Every time you think of me, know that I'm around you. I still get her. She was like, you know how I love the dog Murphy? She still wants, even though she shared the dog with her ex-boyfriend, she still wants her parents, especially her mom, to have that dog, because that dog has all the love from Kaylee in her. She would like her to have him. Her dad and her mom. Well, she wants them to get a dog if they don't already have one, or see if they can visit with Murphy. She's like, Mom, you'll feel my energy on Murphy. You know that. Okay. She's like, look for flowers. You're going to see weird flowers, like whether it's pictures on TV or it's all snowy out and all of a sudden you see a patch of flowers. That's me. That's me saying hello. She's like, flowers are going to pop up. A lot of messages for you, Mom. I'm going to end it now. Guys, let me just see if anybody was saying anything. Your headache, face pain is 60%. You gotta get some CBD oil. Kaylee worked for your niece? Oh my gosh, I think you came in my comments and told me that once, I think. Oh my gosh, so you know her? Excuse the burp. Do you know her, Kaylee? Or your niece knew her? You agree that she always was laughing and wants people to be happy? Yeah, I feel like he's on the spectrum too. Or Asperger. So hugging all these kids. Yeah. I'm a thumb typer and I'm always messing. Oh, no problem, Tracy. I understand you well. Hey guys, praying for all the souls involved. Hi, Lickety Splits. Welcome. We do have to protect our kids better. Does anyone know what kind of dog they had? I think it's a Labradoodle. I want to say Labradoodle, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, some kind of doodle. It's like a caramel color, very cute. Murphy. His name is Murphy because she says his name a lot to me. She's surrounded by animals in heaven. It's a shame to have instinct to protect themselves. Yes. If Kaylee knew bait. Hi, Patty H. If you're wondering if Kaylee knew BK or BK knew Kaylee. Now, he was watching them. So he had been to the house, driving by the house, but I don't feel he's ever been in the house. I don't feel he's been in the house. But he drove, the cops and FBI had specific points and dates and times that he went to 1122 Kings Road and stalked them. And so, like Kaylee was saying, she didn't have curtains up or a blind up, and anybody could look in at her at any time, and it was a party house. But yeah, he stalked them, and I also see them. I don't know. I don't have facts. This as facts, but I see him going into the Mad Greek restaurant and talking to Maddie and Xana about the vegan menu, something vegan. And the first time they were very nice to him, or they had a nice conversation, both of them. But the second or third time, something was said and they kind of like got a weird vibe from him, so they kind of walked away. And Maddie has a deeper voice. Like, I don't know, she has a little bit of I hear a deeper voice. And she just said something and it came out too loud and he heard it. And like, in other words, he was thinking maybe they were laughing at him. But even though they were just like, they were freaked out by him, like they were like, okay, now you crossed the line. Because they were truly nice at first, and then he was being a little weird, like inappropriate. And so they like walked away from him. Thank you, Leisha. God bless you, and I hope you feel better soon. You got to take care of yourself. Thank you, Tracy. Your pup was puking? Does your pup have the virus? Tell me what your pup's name is so I could pray for him too. You have CBD oil candles? They are. Yeah, CBD, rub it on, helps. That sounded weird. Yes, Murphy. I'm sure she misses Kay. Yeah, that's why, like, if they get Murphy over to Kaylee's mother and father, Steve and Christy, and the sister, the sisters, she has two sisters, a 17-year-old one, and then the older sister that has a baby, and then a brother. The dog will recognize the voices, and especially the sister and the mother sound a lot like Kaylee. They have her laugh, and the dog would love that. Okay? Just like they should visit. They should be allowed to visit. Why was he stalking those girls? Demonic. Because he's a psycho. He's a psycho. He's obsessed. He had obsessed fantasies. And he was going to do something to somebody. Yeah, CBD ointment is really good medicine. It was really the only thing that took away my migraines, that plural. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to say, why did he stalk them? Why did Chris Watts wipe out his family? Right? Seemed like a nice guy. Why did he wipe out his family? Well, maybe he wasn't such a nice guy. Maybe there was something, there was definitely an underlying personality disorder that was bordering on sociopath. I mean, I'm not a psychologist or law enforcement, but I just try to study about the different cases. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. It's like we gotta, I don't know, like there probably were warning signs. A lot of people speaking out about him as like a child and a teenager and then a young adult. And they're saying, odd stories, like they never really saw him. They'll say like he was okay, but then they're also saying that, he used to always have to be right and always, have these weird obsessions. And they're saying that really is him on Reddit. And he said a bunch of weird stuff. And it's kind of how they got him, because he put some stuff on Reddit that nobody else would know but the killer. Why was he stalking the demonic? The girl sensed it, yes. Especially Xana and Kaylee. They just didn't know what to do. Hey, my blue lady. Aw, I remember when you used to always call me you blue lady. Why is that BK leave the knife sheath in the bed close to Maddie? No, that was an accident. He's OCD. BK is OCD, so severe. So that was an accident because there was a lot of things he was doing in a short amount of time. And that was a severe accident. So he went back the next morning to try to get in there and get it, but he couldn't get it. He couldn't go in there. That's what I think. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it dropped out. He went to pull out the knife real fast and he dropped it and didn't even know until it was too late. He had all these people that he just murdered and he had to get out of there. P.S. Sorry, don't crucify me for my bad English. My pup's name is Baby. Okay, I'll put Baby and Leisha on my candle. Leisha Fierce. You're gonna get better. Just like sucks for like 10 days, right? I won't crucify you for anything. Just the person who said I was boring and told me to hurry up. I was like, I should have known when they said hurry up. Let's get this started, or hurry up, come on, get on with it. No, you don't do that to me. Okay? If I'm doing a channeling, I do it at my own pace. Nobody rushes me. Okay, I think I'm gonna hang it up, guys. I love you all. Thank you. Hi, BZ Mama. Thanks for coming by. Oh, I did a 2-hour live, I think, so you can go back and watch it. It's about, I wanted to burn some Palo Santo sticks and have some prayers and see if the Madison wanted to talk, or Xana, or Ethan, and Kaylee. And so I have their sticks right here. So he left that sheath, his only DNA, yeah, on the button of it. On the button of it. When he went to open it up, his fingerprint was on it. Amethyst Pisces, how are you? Nice to see you. Yes, everyone have a nice sleep. I'm going to go take my medicine and hopefully be able to go into a sleep, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll roll the dice. But at least I didn't have any Jesus juice. If I would have hurried, if you would have hurried up, we might not have heard what the kids have, exactly. Oh, I'm 59 years old. I don't let anybody rush me. Certainly not somebody that, I have never seen on my channel before. Okay, and then they just popped in during a live. I've never seen them before. So I felt like a weird energy. And that's the thing, like, that's what I said on my other video. I was like, do you guys know I'm psychic? I feel the energy, whether it's good or bad. Okay, it's never in between for psychics and empaths. You feel it. It's like we don't have the skin. The first 2 layers of skin are gone. It's just, we take it in. That's why I didn't like to do lives, because I felt too vulnerable. Like the other night when I did the 4-hour live, somebody asked me a question about their work. So I shuffled my cards. I wasn't going to do that. But I said, you know what, I'll be open to everything. I shuffled my cards. I pulled out like 3 cards. And I said what I said. I said I felt like somebody, you didn't want them to be working there because they're kind of bad to you or mean to you. And if your life would be a lot better if that person was fired or left the job. And then later on, they never said anything to me. And then later on, because I don't understand how to read my chat, I got, well, that's weird because I don't work with anybody. I go, well, why did you say what's going to happen at work if you don't work with anybody? Do you work at home? And then I went to go into it, but something told me, stop. You did what you could do. They asked you, they got a free question answered. Leave it at that. I said, I'm sorry you didn't like the answer. I guess I can't read you, you know? So I just left it at that. And then somebody else asked me to channel their father. And then I asked them their father's name, but they didn't want to give it to me. So they said they'll email me. And yeah, I'll answer a question if I can, but I have to have a little information to ask the spirit guides. But anyhow, I feel the energy. I feel what's going on out there. And if somebody tries to attack me, even just by being mean or rude, that affects me. But then sometimes I get my Irish up, and then I don't care because, I say something snarky back. And then it's all good in the neighborhood. Because you know what? There's always going to be people out there like that. You know what? Why be on my channel if you just don't want to absorb my energy and be grateful that I'm trying to channel the spirits that have passed on, or try to get answers, or try to, all for free, I might add. I'm not asking for a super chat. I'm not asking for anything except be respectful and, try to deal with me as a person, that is living the same human experience that you're living. Okay? But I'm trying to think with the whole part of my brain. All right? And it's not easy to do. After I'm done, I won't be able to sleep because I'm all wound up. I can't be with my family. My husband will want me to just go to sleep like a normal person. That doesn't happen. Okay? Anyhow, I'm going to go, guys. I love you all. This was for entertainment purposes only, and I will talk to you soon. 222. I'm ending at 222. Love you. Namaste. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And know that you are very blessed, and God always hears your worries and hears your prayers. And sometimes you just need to ask again, and you need to say, I need to feel your energy, God. I need to feel the angels around me. Please surround me with healing, protection, and love. Thank you. Amen.